Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Lucky Wolf, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about Regulation G. So that is the next rule set for VGC, for the Video Game Championship, and this is actually a rule set we are going back to. This was the rule set that we had for 3 months over the summer, and it did kind of end. I can't really use that word anymore, but it did kind of end with Worlds. We are, however, jumping back into Regulation G for the next 4 months, I believe. And everything, all of the tools I'm going to be showing today, I will have everything linked in the description down below, so please feel free to check all of these out, explore all that kind of good stuff. But I thought a pretty good place to start for talking about Regulation G are the Worlds results, because this was the Worlds format. So Worlds was in Honolulu over the summer. Look how cute this graphic is. That is so freaking cute. Look at that. Oh, can you see my... Okay, there we go. Now you can see my mouse. I'm pointing to this. I'm pointing to that. Absolutely adorable. And so there were 864 Masters qualified for Worlds this year, and I do have the results right here. We have the open team sheets here as well, so once again, everything is linked in the description down below, so if you want to explore more, definitely check it out. And so for those who might not know, because I definitely have some people who were hanging out in stream and everything like that. I do stream VG, I do stream Pokemon content 4 days a week. I'll have that linked in the description down below. But I definitely had some people in stream who were asking about Regulation G and kind of like what the rule set was. Maybe they started in Regulation H or they're looking to get started now. And so Regulation G does mean that one restricted Pokemon is allowed, so that is one box art legendary on your team is allowed. Additionally, you can use as many of the other legends as you would like, so the other legends kind of being, if we see here, Urshifu, Ogerpon, the Ruinous Mons like Chi. I almost said Chi-Yu. There's a Chi-Yu down here, but no. Like the Ruinous Mons, like Chi-Yu, like Chien-Pao, Fluttermane and Entei are included as well. So as many of those types of Pokemon on your team that you would like as well. So, I want to start out with the World's results. I do think if we look at the top, let's say 20 teams. Even if we just took a quick gander at those teams, I think it is pretty evident which restricted Pokemon are on top, right? So we do see Miraidon won Worlds, Miraidon also came in 4th, also came in 6th, and then we don't see Miraidon again for a little while, 24th. But still, that is an incredible showing. 1st, 4th, and 6th. That is 3 top 8 finishes for Miraidon. And, these two Miraidon teams, as we do see, are exactly the same. This Miraidon team, very different. Very, very different. So there are multiple ways to run Miraidon. We do see Ice Horse got 2nd, as well as 5th, as well as 7th. We do see Zamazenta got 3rd, and Michael Kelsch, who did get 3rd at Worlds with Zamazenta, also used Zamazenta to win I believe, a regional in Regulation G as well. So Zamazenta, also an absolutely top tier Mon, can be very, very hard to break through. Also has a good matchup into Ice Horse, which I think is very helpful. Zamazenta is a Pokemon that can click Iron Defense and Body Press, does also have Wide Guard, has a Steel type move as well, in case your opponent wants to try to outlast you with a Pokemon like Fluttermane. Fluttermane is a Ghost type, so being immune to the Body Press. So very, very good Pokemon. And then, additionally, we do see the Terrapagos at 8th and at 9th, so still a very, very respectable finish. I personally am a Terrapagos believer. I don't think Terrapagos is S tier. I do absolutely think it's A tier, though. To me, the S tier Pokemon, and then, we do see that Shadow Rider did not break the top 8, but it did have a 10th, 11th, and 12th place finish, so still a very incredible finish. I think the S tier Pokemon would be Miraidon, would be Ice Horse, and our Ghost Horse. I think that Terrapagos is am I a little biased? Maybe, but I definitely think Terrapagos is A tier. I think having an 8th place and a 9th place finish is not bad at all. Additionally, I believe Terrapagos came in second. I believe Aurelion came in second using Ice Horse at NAIC as well. And so, another Pokemon I do want to talk about, because Kyogre is a personal favorite. Kyogre is absolutely a personal favorite, and I personally would put Kyogre in perhaps low... I'm going to say low A tier. I do believe Kyogre is an A tier Pokemon. I think Kyogre is not only A tier because it can set the weather, because it has massive damage output, 100% accurate, massive damage output in the water spout, but also you can click Origin Pulse. It's not 100% accurate, but you can click Origin Pulse, but also there are so many different ways to run Kyogre. I have seen Assault Vest Kyogre, Specs Kyogre, Leftovers Kyogre with Calm Mind. There are so many different ways to run Kyogre, and I think that's one of the things that really makes Kyogre special. Additionally, another Pokemon I do want to talk a little bit about, and we're gonna go into, this is on Victory Road, and again, I will have this linked in the description down below, but here are a bunch of different rental codes to start out with. If you're not really sure where to start with Reg G, here are a bunch of different rental codes, and a lot of these do have good placements in various tournaments. So if we look at this, I think this team is incredible. It's definitely a slower defensive team, but I think it's a very, very fun team to play. I've played it a little bit. So we do have, and like I was saying, we do have the Assault Vest Kyogre right here. We have Scarf Urshifu. We have Grim for the screens, as well as Incineroar and Iron Jugulis for Snarl, Tailwind, Hurricane, and the Wo-Chien to Leech Seed, Ruination, Pollen Puff. So this combination is so fun, right? Because Wo-Chien, Tablets of Ruin, this does decrease all Pokemon on the field, except for Wo-Chien, their physical attack. So Kyogre has a better special defense stat than physical defense stat. So Wo-Chien can protect Kyogre on the physical side, the Assault Vest and Natural Bulk protects Kyogre on the special side, and then additionally, you can Ruination so Kyogre can pick up big KOs, as well as you can Pollen Puff your Kyogre so you can click Water Spout instead of having to click Origin Pulse, and you can get 100% accurate Water Spout damage off, and you just keep healing up and healing up and healing up. Like, this seems a little diabolical, but like truly in the best way. So if you're interested in any of these, we have NAIC top 16, NAIC top 8, Hong Kong National top 8, so a bunch of different teams from truly players around the world, but a team that is near and dear to my heart, and a team that I really love is, right here, is this Lunala team. And I do think Lunala, I personally would put Lunala in high B tier, I think. I love Lunala, and I absolutely love this team. I use this team in a ranked battle spot ladder video, and the team did so well. So this team really centers around Calm Mind Lunala. You get to click your Terra Fairy, so you have Stab, Moonblast, as well as you make your 4 times Dark Weakness into a resistance. You have Calm Mind, you have the Leftovers. So what this can do is you can click Calm Mind, then you can click Protect, and with Leftovers and Grassy Surge, you can heal back up to your Shadow Shield, so it can just be immensely difficult to take down this Lunala set. We also have the Urshifu, which can just kind of punch through your opponent's teams. We see Iron Jugulis with Snarl to be able to neuter your opponents even more. Air Slash, Tailwind, and we do have that Rain Dance as well. We have the Chi-Yu, Beads of Ruin, another Snarlmon here, and Chi-Yu with the Beads of Ruin. That means that decreases the special defense of all Pokemon on the field, except for Chi-Yu. So that means your Chi-Yu does more damage, your Lunala does more damage, your Iron Jugulis does more damage, if they are with Chi-Yu on the field at the same time. And to round out this team, we do have the little Umbreon here for Foul Play, which is very good into both Ghost Rider and Ice Rider. We do have the Toxic, which can really help if you're up against another kind of Calm Mind Lunala set, or if you're up against a similar team that I just showed you that got top 8 at NAIC with the Kyogre and the Wo-Chien, then you can click Toxic and you can taunt them, so that just can greatly, like, if you Toxic them, they are just immediately on a timer when you're not on a timer. And then you can also set Reflect. So I did want to talk a little bit about Lunala because I think, as of right now, Lunala is probably the Pokemon I am most excited about to test again and to use again in Reg G, and that actually brings us to our question of the day. What Pokemon are you, doesn't have to be restricted, but what Pokemon are you most excited about in to try out, to build around, to use either again or for the first time in Reg G? Like I said, mine, hands down is Lunala. So I think that's kind of just a really quick overview of what the late Reg G meta looked like, what the world's results are, and we have the open team sheet for all of these teams. So if you do want to check it out, I have everything linked in the description down below. And so, like I said, I think the S tier mons, definitely Miraidon, definitely Ice Horse, and definitely Shadow Rider. I think very, very high A tier would be Zamazenta as well as Terrapagos. And I do think the interesting thing kind of about these various Pokemon is they kind of almost like check each other in a way. You know, Zamazenta has a great matchup into Terrapagos, and Terrapagos has a great matchup into Ghost Horse. Ghost Horse has a great matchup into Zamazenta. You know, Zamazenta has a great matchup into Ice Horse. So I think that can make for really fun team building for, okay, I know on paper and inherently my Terrapagos is going to have a bit of a difficult matchup into the Zamazenta. So how do I build the rest of my team to be able to cover for that matchup? So I think that's where kind of like the fun and ingenuity of team building can kind of come through. And one other thing I do want to kind of touch on in this video is how I think the Regulation H meta is going to affect the Reg G meta. And ultimately, I don't think it's going to have a massive effect, but I do have a couple Pokemon that I do think we will maybe see a little bit more in Regulation G. The first Pokemon I want to talk about in this section is Sneasler, and I do kind of want to put a little asterisk by Sneasler, right? I think we're going to see a lot of Sneasler, I think we're going to see more Sneasler than we had in Regulation G. In the beginning, I don't know, in the beginning of this new Regulation G set, just because of how popular this Pokemon is with, just because of how popular this, okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I need to take a little hydration break. I ate a truly criminal amount of a party-sized bag of chips for lunch, and chips are my favorite food, but they are incredibly salty, so give me a second. Back and hydrated. So I think that we are going to see more Sneasler in the beginning of Reg G than we had in past Reg G. I think that makes sense, because of how popular this Pokemon is in Regulation H. Additionally, Sneasler has the ability, where are you, Unburden. And so you can run Electric Seed. You can run Electric Seed, Unburden with Miraidon, which just covered. Miraidon 1 Worlds is an incredibly powerful Pokemon, and we will be seeing. So Sneasler gives you Fake Out. Sneasler gives you a lot of really cool options. You can click the Close Combat, you can click the, of course, Dire Claw, and you can click something like Coaching as well. Maybe not next to the Miraidon itself, but, you know, you could get your Unburden boost. Then with Miraidon, you can click something like Volt Switch, you can swap something in, and then that Pokemon that you swap in, you can click Coaching. Maybe your opponent double protects, fearing the Fake Out, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I do think we will see more Sneasler in the beginning, but I want to put that little asterisk there just because I don't know the staying power of Sneasler. And the other 3 Pokemon I want to talk a little bit about, they're actually support Pokemon. They are support Pokemon, and This might be an absolutely wild take, but hear me out, 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 hear me out. What if we're living in this world? What if we're living in this world? Terra normal, so that you're no longer weak to Shadow Rider, and then you just get to swap in and out, you get to heal up your teammate, you get to click Rage Powder, you can click Trick Room if you want, you can click Strength Zap. Like, Strength Zap is very, very nice into Ghost Horse as well. I really do believe there is a place for Sinistcha in this meta, so I'm really curious to see how Sinistcha fares. And then the last two, so these Pokemon are all support. The last two are the Magmar and the Electabuzz. And look, I think one of the things that made Magmar and Electabuzz so good in Reg H was that they are immune to sleep. So you can't Spore this Pokemon, you can't Sleep Powder this Pokemon, and we did see a lot of both of those moves running around. And right in Reg G, we do have the Miraidon, right? We do have the Miraidon with the Hydron Engine, which does set Electric Terrain, and in electric terrain, Pokemon on the ground, Pokemon connected to the terrain, cannot be put to sleep. So I think that Vital Spirit, I think that Vital Spirit will be a little bit less useful, but depending on the team, not every team is going to have a Miraidon. So depending on the team, you could run Vital Spirit, but Flame Body's also kind of cool. You also have access to Will-O-Wisp and Taunt, which are really nice into Ice Horse, which again, I do believe is an S tier Pokemon. I think you should absolutely have a matchup mapped out when you are building a Reg G team into the Ice Horse teams. You also have the Overheat, you have the Follow Me as well. So you could also use the Magmar to protect your own Ice Horse if you wanted to. Follow Me doesn't have to worry about burn, doesn't have to worry about any of that. You can Follow Me away a taunt so that you can, your Ice Horse can set up Trick Room, then you can swap out, get another sweeper in, all that kind of stuff. And then the same thing really goes for Electabuzz. You have Static, you have Vital Spirit, and Electabuzz, while not having access to Will-O-Wisp, does have access to Electroweb. There we go. Does have access to the Electroweb as well. So having a little bit of extra, speed control is always helpful. Is always helpful there as well. So those are really the kind of 4 Pokemon I have my eye on for how Regulation H might affect the Reg G meta. But like I said, I think if you are new to Reg G or you're looking to kind of like shake off the rust and remember how to play Reg G, hopping on in with any of those rental codes, just kind of looking at, doing a little bit of research, reminding yourself what did well at Worlds, are very, very valuable tools to kind of get yourself ready for, I don't know when this video is going up, but ultimately for like what's going for the regulation change in like a week and a half, 2 weeks maybe. I know I myself, like I said, I'm excited to use Lunala. I am a Terrapagos believer, I am a Turtle believer, so you better believe I will be building a team for both those Pokemon as well. And if there's any Pokemon you would like to see me try to use, also please feel free to let me know as well. But that's gonna be it for me. I hope this was helpful. Again, everything linked in the description down below if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling like you don't know where to start, all those places, great place to start. And thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate that. If you did enjoy this content at any time, please feel free to leave a like, comment, or subscribe. If not, feel free to do exactly none of that. I hope everybody has an absolutely amazing rest of their day. Okay, that's it from me.